This is a lead. This is used to walk your dog. But you may as well take this lead and throw it in the bin if you take your dog out in this weather. 26 degrees in the UK. That is heat stroke weather. You won't need this lead if you take your dog out in this weather, because it will likely die from heat stroke. I'm sorry if that's harsh, but sometimes you've got to be a little bit brutal about these things, because I am still seeing people that think it's totally acceptable to take a dog out when it is this hot. And what do you normally do in this situation? Alright, when you put him on his harness, he's quite happy to smash into the end of that and take you wherever he wants to go. Just sit and stop, walk towards me, then stop. Perfect. Walk down to that bit of green for me. Sniff. Nice. The conditioning, eh? Because this is it. So you're not increasing his chances of fixating on a dog, because what's happening is he looks at a dog, the treats come down, the dog knows the treats come from you, but it started with looking at that dog. So instead of looking, losing your shit, you're looking, good things happen. But now you see what's happening. He's not looking at the dog and fixated. He's now looking at the dog, looking at you like, give me my fucking reward. Dog, dog, dog. Nice. What a boy. You know that leaving your dog in a car in the height of the summer, your dog could be dead within 6 minutes. That's how long it takes for a dog to die of heat stroke when it's left unattended in a warm car. If that dog then starts making a beeline, he has to stop. I need to go in front of him and build this bubble. I'm going to stamp my foot or shout, sit! Nearly every dog on the planet knows sit. It's either going to sit or be so bloody bemused that you just asked it to sit that it's going to get confused and back away. I can take a handful of treats and throw those over the dog's head. Give me some time to create a bit of space. Or I could carry a spare lead in my pocket, lasso it over the dog's head. Can you come and get your dog, please? Anything other than letting it get to my dog. My dog needs to see I have got its back, so it doesn't need to be so defensive and on edge. And that's how he starts to build confidence around other dogs, by knowing that that dog over there isn't going to get anywhere to him because you've got his back. If you're carrying an umbrella, you can open an umbrella. That'll scare most dogs away that aren't used to it. If you've got a ball launcher that you're throwing your ball around, you can use that just to hold the dog at bay. You can use your leg to hold the dog at bay. You can stamp your foot. You can throw treats. You can shout sit. Anything that means that dog does not jump on him or invade his space when he wants space. Hello! Hello! See? Yeah. And because he's cute, right, because he's cute, what happens is everybody does it. So when they come past, like, oh, look at him.
And I'm like, don't touch him. Yeah.
So in reality, right, the reason that was the first time he's reacted at me is because the whole time we've been here talking, I've been sideways on and acts as if he doesn't exist. When he come over and smelled me, I acted as if he didn't exist. My favourite dog breed, without a shadow of a doubt, is the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. She's the reason that Southland Dog Training exists. She's on the front cover of my first book, How to Raise a Perfect Dog, issue 3. They're quite a misunderstood breed, but they are probably the most people-friendly dog on the planet, probably the best dog on the planet with children. Of course, there's always exceptions to the rules. A lot of the stories that you've read in newspapers or heard about, it's not an actual Staffordshire Bull Terrier. Many times it's a Staffy mix or a bully breed mutt. Not saying there's anything wrong with Staffy mixes, not saying anything wrong with bully breed mutts. The reality is, though, a lot of the time the Staffordshire Bull Terrier, which is a separate breed, a breed within itself, gets blamed for other dogs that simply look like it. The Staffordshire Bull Terrier is an absolutely fantastic dog. It's a healthy dog. It's a hardy dog. Yeah, it's the best dog on the planet for me. If you have a dog that's not comfortable with people, that's nervous of people, you need to stop letting people that your dog is not comfortable with interacting with your dog in any way. They need to not be talking to your dog, not holding the hand out for them to sniff, not getting down to their level, not staring at your dog. They need to act as if your dog doesn't exist. By this happening, your dog will actually get more comfortable with people. The more people force themselves on the dog that doesn't want to be acknowledged or interacted with, the worse your dog will get. End of the lead, we don't keep going forward. End of the lead, give in to that pressure, things happen. Yeah? Good boy. Come this way, good boy. Come this way. And I'll slowly just start working my way, a little bit of pressure, down that lead. I'll slowly just start shortening up his lead until he's more by my side. Now we're changing the angle, so instead of giving him the whole lead, my hand's starting to come down, and I'm turning with a shorter lead. Starting to teach him kind of where I want him to be. And again, just up on that lead and relaxing. Up on that lead and relaxing. Up on that lead and relaxing. Switch that lead. Arm by my side. Head up, shoulders up. If you're struggling with recall, listen up. These tips are an absolute game changer. 1, make sure your dog is on a long line. The reality is, ladies and gentlemen, if your dog can run over to something and you can't stop it, your dog knows in that moment you can't stop it. So the behaviour is being reinforced. Having a long line means you can stop it. Number 2, nearly always before a dog runs over to something, it stops and it looks to see where you are. If you're standing still, the dog anticipates you're going to stand still, so will run. If you're walking towards the dog in a panic, no! Your dog will anticipate you're going that way, so the dog will go, great, I'll go that way too. The dog needs to see you moving backwards. Moving backwards, come, yeah! Encourages the dog to come towards you. Notice a little bit of animation there. That's also important. If you're boring, come, Fido, come, no, come, good boy. Would you want to fucking come to you? No. You need to be a little bit interesting. I don't mean doing headstands and star jumps, just a little bit of animation will do. Those things are an absolute game changer. Try it. You'll see a big difference. Yeah, walk away. Right. Walk towards now, Ant. So tell him enough. Tell him enough.
Enough.
That's it, then relax.
Yeah.
By your side, he is so much easier to stop.
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Than on your lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
We just jumped, didn't he, as well, so you can't...
Yeah, bloody dog is cruelty.
Yeah. But on your lap, it puts him into a very vulnerable position.
Yeah.
Like that. So it does. So now, he doesn't want any part of that. But on his lap, there is literally no escape other than react.
Yeah.
Because he's so needy as well, you become a resource.
Yeah.
So I see this all the time. People have their dogs, or worse, if the dog does bark, they'll pick it up, but that makes the reactivity worse. The nervous collar, right, highlights that she's nervous. I'm not the biggest fan of them, and here's why. As soon as a person sees that, because they're not for other dogs, because the other dog running across the field, when you're only shouting out, it's okay, he's friendly, he's not going to stop and go, oh, I see you're nervous, yeah? It's not. And by the time the owner comes and collects their dog and sees that, oh, that dog's nervous, it's too late. But for a person, so if I approach you and go, oh, what a lovely Doberman, it's nervous, the first thing people do when they know you've got a nervous dog, oh, hello, mate, it's okay, don't be nervous. Yeah. And instantly, that's the worst thing you can do for a nervous dog. So sometimes, announcing it to the world, yeah, that your dog is nervous, I don't mind the ones that say, caution, I'll bite your ass or something like that. Because that makes people have, I'm just going to stand here. Yes. Whereas nervous goes, that does happen. So that they can become a little bit sort of problematic in that sense.
This dog is about to react. The moment the mouth shut. But watch how the owner deflects and it prevents the reaction.
What training treats we use at Southend Dog Training with nearly every dog that comes to the training centre? We use the Southend Dog Training cold press. Why do we use the Southend Dog Training cold press? We use it because it has many similar properties to raw food. It's very good for dogs, it's very healthy for dogs. And if you are feeding a raw food diet, it doesn't interfere with your dog's raw food diet. Many times, the training treats you are using can actually upset your dog's tummy or can interfere with the diet that you are giving them. So cold press, we know the dogs are getting healthy, natural treats. The second reason we use it is because dogs seem to love it. So even dogs that come to the training centre whose owners go, my dog won't take food outside, we use the Southend Dog Training cold press, and they're actually shocked to find their dogs will quickly start taking the food. So that's what we use. This is our beef flavour. You can get a sample of it right now and try it for your dogs. You can also get bigger bags if you wanted to feed it to your dog as their main diet. If you let your dog say hello to new people every single day or new dogs every single day, this can become a behavioural problem. This can become a negative. It becomes an expectation. If every walk your dog thinks it's going to say hello to people or get to go and play with new dogs, this expectation, when it can't be met, when you can't do that, can turn into frustration, which can lead to reactivity. As the old saying goes, too much of a good thing can become a bad thing. We need to teach our dogs that good things come from the environment, from going on a hike, from playing with toys, from sniffing, from exploring, from the fuss, from the love and the attention that we give them. Whilst there's other dogs around, whilst there might be other people around. Proper socialising isn't how many people or dogs your dog gets to meet. This is how we fuck dogs up. Proper socialising is about going on adventures, going to many different places, many different sites, exposing your dog to many different sounds, smells, teaching your dog good things come from ignoring other people. If you've got a dog that loses its mind when it sees other dogs, tries to go running over to them and you can't stop it, pop that dog on a lead so you can block it, move backwards, get that focus on you and re-engage with your dog. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, it's man's best friend, not fuck off and play with everything else other than you. Think about when you go out with your dog about having fun with your dog. It will make such a difference in your relationship. How to stop your dog jumping up? It's nice and simple. Make sure your dog's on a lead. That way you can easily take control of the situation. Have hold of that lead. Fuss your dog. When you stop fussing your dog, because you've got that lead in your hand, if the dog jumps up, you can correct the dog. All four paws on the floor, teach your dog they get everything they want. Teach your dog what you'd like them to do also in order to receive that attention. So when they come over to you, ask them to sit, then stroke them. Drum into your dog, sit, stroke, sit, stroke, sit, stroke. When it comes to strangers or people coming in your house, make sure your dog's on a lead. Don't let your dog go over to people until your dog is calm. Then when your dog is calm, as a reward, have your dog go over to people, but hold on to that lead. Make sure your guests have been instructed not to interact with your dog in a high-pitched baby voice, not to go OTT with their fuss, and to fuss the dog calmly, almost massage-like. And if the dog jumps up, tell them to please stop fussing the dog. You can pop on that lead, reset, start again.
Down. Floor. Floor.
That's it. So just back up and hold down, just point. So one thing that we're doing, okay, is we're saying down and floor.
Yes.
Right? So we're trying to basically almost two different
It's
commands.
normally floor.
Yeah.
I normally give him for that.
One, how do you ask him to lay down?
Down.
Yeah. So you can't have two different commands. Sorry, the same command for two different behaviours.
Right,
Because
yeah.
it gets confusing. Because if I ask him to down and he doesn't lay down, and then he jumps up and I say down, and he doesn't lay down, it sends mixed messages.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't know what down should be, so it confuses him. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is what you're trying to do is pull him down. You're getting into a battle. So Sophie, come here a second, please. So here's what I want to do, right? So short but relaxed lead. Let's get this one out of the way. Watch my lead. Watch here. Come towards me. Up.
Yeah.
Versus wrestling with him.
Yeah.
And then biscuits.
Yeah.
Better behaviour. Thank you. Thank you. Right, and somebody coming towards you in a threatening manner. Do you mind if I touch you?
No.
Okay. So what happens is the dog goes in front. So I'm the handler, and apologies, you're the dog for this, right? But he goes in front. So
Yeah.
anything that comes towards him, he has to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I want is if something's coming towards you in a threatening manner, it's almost like,
Going in front of him.
yeah, like if you got a problem,
Yeah.
like the same way you would if you was out together
Yeah.
and somebody come over to you in an aggressive manner.
Yeah.
The last place you're going to put your wife is in front of you.
Yeah.
You're going to step in. What's the matter, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if she's behind you, she's protected. You're
Yeah.
almost like that shield. That's what we want to do to the dog. So I'm not going, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. I'm not doing that because, again, that doesn't do anything. Every time I stop, I expect him to stop here. I don't want to be like this, because what does this position look like? Okay? But this is the position adopted often by police officers and army, and when they're doing bite work with a dog. So when something approaches me, if I've got a reactive dog, the last place I want to be is here, because I'm basically saying on guard, on guard. Come here, mate. I want him to be here, but people always say, how do I get my dog to stay here? When you stopped, he kept going in front. That's because we're holding up here, so he can go straight in front. So I want to get in the habit, he can stay there safely. Well, when I stop, how do we stop a car? We gently squeeze the brakes to come to a stop. When we come to a stop, we come off the brakes. We go forward a little bit, we'll gently squeeze those brakes. When he comes to a stop, we ease off the brakes. So that way he's by my side. So if he does start to go forward and make advances towards that dog, I can squeeze those brakes, and easily just apply a little bit of pressure. Why does this dog and so many dogs react only to black dogs? Contrary to what a lot of people think, it has nothing to do with racism. Dogs are not racist. It's only humans that discriminate. No other animal in the animal kingdom discriminates. So why do a lot of dogs react to black dogs? Well, it's very, very simple. They are harder to read. They are harder to work out the facial features and the overall body language. So, if you have a nervous dog, this can make them uncomfortable. It's the same reason why dogs will react to people that wear face masks or sunglasses or hats or a motorbike helmet. They see a silhouette of a person, they think that's a person, but because they can't see the facial features, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, if they're nervous and quick to react, this can make them uncomfortable. Happy-go-lucky dogs will sit there and have the ability to wait a little longer to figure out things. Whereas nervous dogs, because they're more visually oriented instead of scent driven, they just look, see something that they know should be a person, but because they can't work out the facial features, they panic. It's the same as a dog. They see a silhouette of a dog, but because they can't read the body language as well, because they can't see the eyes and the nose and all that as well, they panic. Happy-go-lucky dogs will just let it play out a little bit and work it out. So dogs aren't racist, only humans are racist. Not all of them, some. Right back there, in that safe space where I want you to be. I want him to adopt when I stop. A lot of people only ask the dog to walk on a short lead, or to sit, or to stop when there's a distraction. So if you see a person, then you suddenly stop. Or if you see a dog, then you suddenly stop. The rest of the time, he's doing whatever he wants, right? So what you've done in that moment is indicate there's a distraction, there's a person. And because that is the time that you now choose to practice, when there's a high level distraction, he's less likely to do it. So I want to get those reps in when there's nothing going on. So I want to practice walking and then randomly stopping a few seconds to a minute or something like that, then move on. And I'm going to keep practicing this. So when I stop, it's not foreign. So if I do have to stop to talk to you, if I do have to stop because there's a dog, if I do have to stop because there's a person, suddenly it's not an indicator, it's a person. This is now normal behaviour, and I've got enough reps in that it's foreign. Look where he is with me now. Because I've told him this is where I want you to be, because every time he's gone to go there or behind me or over there, I put him back here. Because every time I've stopped, I've put him here. The only outcome when I stop is to do this. So cameraman walk backwards and then walk towards us with a little bit of gusto. Right back there, in that safe space where I want you to be. Yeah, that is where I need you to be, mate. Not in front of me. Don't get up and go towards that person because you're going to make a shit choice. Right here. But this bit is easy for him to start to understand if I practice it often when there's nothing going on.